Good morning, guys. Welcome to My Trucking Life with me, CJACEY. It is 7 o'clock on a Monday morning and we are in Cinderella's. We've just pulled her out and I've had to reshoot the intro, so you ain't got me driving in it. We're going over to collect a dock leveller, which is what they use when your trailer backs on a bay. It's what the ramp that lifts out and back onto the trailer. So we're going to pick up one of them, and that normally entails the awkward yellow rails. So might be a bit of an intricate load today. So stay tuned while I go and get hooked up, and we'll see how the day goes. Right, so we're all hooked up. We've put some diesel in because we was back too late on Friday to get it dieseled up, and now we are ready to go. So it's only about 10 minutes to our collection. Just want to wish my brother another happy birthday again. It was his birthday on Saturday. I treated him to a trip out to the cinemas to go and watch Dunkirk. And for anyone who's undecided on whether to go and watch it or not, I do suggest you go and watch it. Unless you've got a super epic surround sound system, it needs the cinema experience to truly immerse you in. It's really well shot, and it's a really good film to highlight what the guys went through back then. So, what did you lot get up to? I want to thank you all for wishing him a happy birthday as well in your comments. I noticed a few on the live stream, a few in the videos, and a few on Facebook, so yeah, I'm sure he'll see those because I've told him they're there. Alright, so let's get this bloody Monday going, shall we? I want to thank Ian Shepherd from the Facebook and YouTube as well. I went down to his yesterday because he's kindly donated me a fridge for inside the truck that he's not using himself, and he was kind enough to give that to me, so thank you very much, buddy. I've got it in the cab now. I'm just working out how to feed the wires over to it because I don't really want it running all the time in case it drains the battery. I don't know whether it's good or not regarding that. Well, I don't know how Cinderella's batteries will cope anyway. I also want to welcome Keno. He's commented saying about how my videos remind him of when he was out with his late father. It's a really nice tribute, and I'm happy to bring those memories for you, Keno. No, they're anywhere there. Okay, so we got the levelers on. It's more of a raised platform. I thought it was going to be the actual dock part itself, the mechanisms with the ramps and that, but it's not. It's just like a platform where they lift and raise things up onto. A bit simpler and a lot lighter. The only thing is, obviously, it looks a bit more rickety than a dock leveler would. the whole weight of the structure is just being held by the 4 legs, so to speak. I'm sure they're sufficient enough, but I've just been sure to not overstress the joins, because if I pull down with the straps, I can pull like 5 or 6 tons worth of tension down, plus make that 3 straps, and that's 15 ton of pressure on a small little tube. So you just got to be a bit wary with how much force you use when you strap them down as well. I've also put a 4th strap around the little ramps at the top. I don't know whether you could quite make them out, but I'll show you all what I mean when we get up there. But yeah, it looks a nice little smart load. And we're taking it over to Fradley Park. It's where I used to spend many a night on a night out. The first company I started vlogging for is based from over there. So if you look in the early part of the vlogs, I used to be in and around that area of when it was the end of the shift or the beginning of a shift. I want to say hello to the Baxter's driver who recognised me. He was just pulling out the yard with a load of metal mesh, and yeah, he recognised me off YouTube, so that's one of the first times I've been recognised by a stranger out on the road, so that was awesome. Pleasure to meet you, buddy, and thanks for stopping and saying hello. I'm going to do some shout outs later on. Had quite a few new subscribers. I don't think I've had an email notification of all of them, but there's definitely a few to read out. Just to remind you that if you do like my videos, rather than having to keep searching for them, you can subscribe, and then they'll be in the separate subscriptions tab on your app. Here's one of AS Taylor's Golden Fleet. Hi there. Bit of a connection with our company in there, as we used to pull out the same factory, I think, in the past. They've got a beautiful golden griffin, but the weather's took a bit of a big turn for the worse, so I don't think I'll be able to film the unloading. I don't think I'll be able to film it anyway because of the place where we're going, but it's too wet to get the camera out. Alright, so there we have it. As you can see, I put the 2 crossed over the front and the back, here and here, and then one just over the middle, and then I wrap one around these ramps because I don't want them flapping out and bouncing back in, and they might bounce off the chain securing them, so put that one around it to make it super safe. Let's get on the straps off so we can crack on with the day. Right, one thing I just want to add, if you just rewind it again, you'll see when I put the straps on the front and the back and crossed them over, I did it so one ratchet was on the one side of the truck and the other ratchet was on the other side of the truck. That's just another way to balance out the tension. We're on our way back to the yard now, which is good because there's a place around the corner that does tiles and everything, roof tiles I think, and I was kind of preemptive that we might have been going to pick up some of them, but fortunately we're not, so we get to not get soaked. But they've redone all this road here. They was in the process of doing it when I was around here before. They've made it all much wider. It used to be a little single lane, but they've put 3 lanes here, so there's a separate filter to turn right, so it's a lot neater. Bit of an inconvenience to start with, and the bend's a little bit tight for us, but never mind. So down the 38 back into Wolverhampton then, guys. See what we got next. Alright, so we've just got back to the yard. We've picked up some paperwork for our next delivery, and then we're going to take our empty trailer around the corner We're going to drop this off and then head solo to another client of ours, pick up a trailer, go and top it up, and it's all going to be fabricated steel and stuff like that, so that'll be fun. So it'll be another more intricate load than I estimated earlier, and we're going to be taking that load down to Brighton, ready for in the morning. So tonight we'll be having a lovely night out in Brighton, guys. Yes. I make sure I lock my doors. Rightio, that's the trailer dropped off. We are now solo. I managed to pick up some red bungees over at the weekend, and I've managed to put my marker board in between my mud guards, so I'm going to see how that goes. I wasn't too confident putting it there, but I've used 2 bungees to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Right, like I said, we're off to get our next trailer. We're going to strap it up, then we're going to go and top it up at a place turning right at these traffic lights. But we're going to get the trailer first, obviously, and then it's going down to Brighton. Right guys, we have picked up our trailer now. We're just pulling her out. I'm not going to film inside and show you the load here, but hopefully I'll be able to show it you later on, or when we're topping it up later. It's just a small load, some fabricated steel for now, some small sections. About 3/4 of the trailer full and only 2 stacks high in the middle. So I've just whacked a load of straps over her. The only minor concern I've got is that we've got side posts on the trailer, but some of the beams aren't quite long enough to go from one goalpost to the next. So they're covered by one post here, but then where the next one is, they end before it. So I've just compensated by putting 2 straps over that bit instead of 1. So we just got a short hop around the corner now, and we'll get some slightly larger pieces put on if it's anything like last time we collected from there. So we'll be there in a minute, and I'll get back to you then, shall I? So we're just going to be taking it nice and steady. Remember, the load's got to settle yet, so we've got the time between now and when we get to our destination in about 2 miles time for the load to adjust and settle and get used to the tension being pulled down on it, and you know, and then we can re-tension it up at the same time as when we get topped up. So it's working out so far so good. We've done 2 hours and, well, say 3 hours driving now, so as long as we get turned around pretty decently at the next place, we should have plenty of time to get down to Brighton tonight. Alright then guys, well, plan change for reasons unbeknown to myself and people. There's been a bit of a delay with the stuff that we're going to be picking up. The load isn't ready or something, and so we're going to be taking it back to the yard for now, minus the extra parts. It's 1:15 now, and the actual load was due in Brighton 8:30 in the morning, so it's going to be loaded in the morning now, and either myself or someone else is going to have to do that. And I'm going to assume either a very early start to get these loaded and down there in time, or they're going to be a bit late. So we're just heading back to the yard with these now. Well, that was silly, wasn't it? You can't get through anywhere now, can you? And now you're blocking me. Never mind. Alright, so at the moment we're just having 5 minutes while the boss sorts out if we've got anything else to do. I'm kind of hoping there isn't, because if we've got to do this in the morning, then it's going to be pretty early start. So this is the trailer here next to us. what we've just brought back. Unfortunately, we won't be going to Brighton then today. As you can see, I've put the 2 straps over each one, obviously, and then with the one that I was a bit concerned about overhanging in between the goalposts, I've just put a 3rd one over. These ones are really small, so just the 2 should be okay. I might put a 3rd one if the excess material tomorrow doesn't go over the top. I'm hoping they're going to put some over the top so I can put further chains and straps and whatever over them there. And everything else is pretty straightforward, really. So we're going to go and get some dinner, I think. Alright guys, we are just about to book off for the day now. It's 20 past 2, and according to my dear, she's still under the impression that I'll be driving my way down to Brighton tonight. I don't ever talk about too much the actual feelings involved in lorry driving, because it's a lot of hard work and commitment from both myself and my family, because it's a big sacrifice that I make all week. And it's one of the negative things about trucking in general, and as you all know, I try to keep away from the negatives, and if there is something negative, I always look on the bright side of it. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to try and capture some of the heartfelt emotion that's involved in the trucking. Now what I'm going to do, I haven't told her that I'll be going home, so I'm going to surprise her. I did it a while ago, and in one of my very early vlogs, but I didn't film me actually going home. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some flowers on the way back, and we're going to try and put the chest cam on and try and capture the moment so you can see firsthand the emotional side of things, because the first time I went back surprising my dear, she burst out into tears. Because it's not just hard on myself, it's hard on her and the children just as much, if not even harder on my partner, or my dear, sorry, because she has to deal with everything on her own, and she has the kids and everything as well. So I'm on my own. If I want some peace and quiet, just by look of the draw, I get peace and quiet because I'm out doing the job. So yeah, we're going to show her some appreciation, get some flowers on the way back, and I'll try and capture the joyous moments which will capture. I'm trying to hopefully show you that even though we do get good things and bad things in the industry, no, I don't show the emotional things, and hopefully you'll be able to see the look on my dear's face when I surprise her, to try and emphasise how hard it is to deal with truckers in the family. Alright, so we've just got a little small bouquet of flowers, nothing too fancy, you know, it's not our wedding anniversary or anything until next week. Some sweets for my daughter, and a little surprise egg for Joseph. Now, time for a quick pint and then we'll go. Just kidding. Alright then, maybe just the one quick one. I've just got some shout outs to do before we get home. Gordon Willox, Joe Davis, Rob Martin, Kit Builder 123, Keno, who I mentioned earlier I believe, David Kay, Patrick Freeney, Chris Bennett, Chris Decker, Daniel Hibbard, Les Moore, Uncle Tom Foxing, Eddie Mack, Robert Dodge, and Jordan Mitchell. I want to thank you guys all for subscribing. It was Trucker J in the UK's birthday over the weekend, so if you can all drop into his channel and say happy birthday from CJC, that would be great. Just drop in his comments and raid his channel, yeah? Everyone go and say happy birthday to him from me. And Right, let's get cracking home, shall we? Hello!
This isn't...
This isn't Brighton. How doing? What's the pressure? Okay.
Not going to get one tonight then.
The load wasn't ready. Okay. I'm not going to be surrounded by gay men. Other men are available. Okay, well, Joseph knows it's me, but he's gone back off to play the Wii. I'm more bothered about that.
Oh yeah, but I know.
Joseph, Daddy's got something for you here. Bunting. Oh, yes. Alright, so as you can see, they're kind of happy to see me. And the cat is definitely happy to see me. This is Lily, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.